from the setting of the sun to the break of new dawn.
Good training without destroying the rule of freedom for a child. Good question.
How? Well, they said the same teeth that the dog uses to bite his kid is the same teeth that he uses to play with. Because it's a fine line. When does it become a child abuse? That's what you're trying to ask me. I have a whole 16-hour workshop on that called Children Come with Clean Slates or Quality Time Parenting. I think a good example is what I read the other day about this man now writing about his childhood. He said when we were children, our mother was very wicked. She made sure that we wore our sweaters when it was cold and made us eat our vegetables. And she was such a bad mother. She won't let us have cookies all day. And now that we are grown up, we are also trying very hard to be bad parents.
Mm-hmm. Talking tongue in cheek.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's not, I mean, you have to explain to them. I think one of the things about Africans' way of raising children, which I think is universal, is they said, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't go out without your sweater. And they say, why? They say, because I'm your dad. No, because when you catch a cold, I'm going to be the one to bear the brunt with you. So it's pretty easy. Just explain to them. It's just one liner.
Okay, so it's a fine balancing act between discipline and abuse. You know, so that's what it's saying. And the key is explanation. That's what I found too, you know, because my little girl's always saying, why did you beat me? And the first day she said, didn't. She don't, you know, she'd come and say, Mommy, why did you beat me? And I realized I hadn't explained to her why she needed, you know. So I said, I was sorry, but this is what you did. So from that time, I would say, look, this is what you are doing. I don't think you should do it. This is why you shouldn't do it. And if you do it, this is what I think I've got to do. And I will do it. You know, I guess maybe that doesn't make me a great parent. I don't know, I'm learning too. But I think that's what he's saying. The key is to explain from step to step. Right, thank you. Thank you. All right, let's ask Folare. What's your question?
What is the relationship between imitation and individuality? Being that young children have to learn to imitate from an early age, and then how does that now affect one expressing oneself as an individual?
Oh, I've got a good panel today. I like that, you know. I like that.
Good. Life itself is an imitation. Because they always said, when I was growing up, there isn't much new things in the world. But how do you take what the world has given you and make it unique? There are no new ideas. Very few new ideas. What we do here is to try and carve a niche out for yourself. And that is where you said imitation is a bad thing, but also it could be a good thing when you now restructure it to meet your own individuality. A house is a house. An architect will draw a house for you, but what is going to make your own house unique?
Wouldn't it mean that first you have to know yourself to be able to add your own value to it?
Oh, yes, of course. That's why I think chapter 5 says the new you. And somebody was talking about the African name here. That's in chapter 5.
You spoke, there was a story. What I like about the book, we will come to the book, is that there are so many, you use proverbs, you use stories and illustrations. You used to be called Christopher. I can't believe you were Christopher at one time. It's in the book. And you know, you said you were greeting, you were in the university, UCLA,
yes.
And you were greeting another Nigerian young man who was called John.
Yes.
And both of you were speaking English. You were like, oh, hi, John. Okay, see you later, John. See you later, Christopher. Yes. And this black American walked up to you and said, you're John, he's Christopher, and you're speaking English, you know? Don't you have anything that's yours? You? You know, so that's what you're talking about. Yes. Kevin, it's not about you, my brother. It's not about you.
No, I didn't meet you before.
You wrote the story. Okay.